Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about the One Piece card game. I'm continuing my deck profile spree, giving you guys a list to build off of for the second OP03 drops for every single major meta contender. Today we're going to be talking about Black Yellow Big Mum. Before I get started, I would like to ask you to please subscribe to the channel. It makes me feel very good, and of course I'd love to hit 3,000 subscribers this year, so help me achieve that goal, and like the video if you enjoy it, algorithm and all that sort of stuff. And if you're interested in competitively focused deck guides for all of these sorts of decks, you should check out my Patreon, linked in the description below. I think you'll find the content there very, very useful, very, very informative, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get started. So, Black Yellow Big Mum. You know what? I realize I'm so unprofessional. So unprofessional. I literally had not resized this from the previous video. Oh my god, how embarrassing. Well, it's fine. You know what? We're here now. We've made it. Let's begin. So, what does this leader do? I kind of accidentally deleted it. I'm so professional. I'm so heckin' professional, guys. It's actually unbelievable. I'm so good at what I do. I'm gonna have to cut this out. So let's start off with the leader, and this is very important to understand the flow of this deck. So Charlotte Linlin, Don 2, when attacking, pay 2, you may trash one card from your hand. If you have one or less cards in your life, heal 1 from the top of your deck. So this is important to understand, right? Like, the goal of this deck is to go down to that sort of 1 life range, and then ideally almost every single turn just be going heal, 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 heal. Whilst you're doing this, you want to be whittling your opponent's resources down, setting yourself up for a lethal turn, and then just absolutely smashing them. There's a lot of very, very powerful late game cards in this deck as a result of that strategy. Lots of 2k counters as well. So what are we playing? Okay, we're playing 4 copies of Tsuru. You are not going to be playing this frequently for the -2 cost. However, it really does come up quite a lot, especially in combination with Monkey D. Garp. Very, very powerful card there. So it is worth keeping in mind. It's something you can do. Usually, though, you're pitching it as a 2k counter. 4 copies of Helm Meppo. This is because as a deck that is just healing constantly, and the deck that's kind of able to like check its life and stack its life, or like, you know, specifically sculpt its life in certain ways, a trigger to play this card is actually very, very good. This is something that comes in. You can use it to reduce cost on your opponent's field. It's a 3/5, it's a 1k counter. It's just very, very powerful in the context of this deck. 4 copies of Fukuro. This is the only good chump blocker in the game. You must play this card at 4 copies in every single deck with access to it. 4 copies of Smoker. So this card cannot be KO'd by card effects. This is very valuable in the context of red basically running the meta, with 5 cost Marco just going sicko mode, or, you know, removal for things like Ace. The reason this is so good is, in addition, when attacking, if there's a 0 cost, this gains 2k power, so this is a 6k swing for free, or a 7k swing with 1 Don. Very, very good into all of the red decks in the meta, basically. This is an essential early game play to be dealing with those. 4 copies of Toshigi. Again, you're usually not going to be playing this. You are usually going to be using this for its 2k counter. Moving down to the Admirals, you know, we're playing 4 copies of Kuzan, 4 copies of Borsalino. I think this is pretty uncontroversial. You sort of have to be playing these cards in every single black deck. They are pretty mandatory. They're such high power cards. You know, Kuzan establishes the body and replaces itself, and then lets you just cheat, like a cheat basically, by getting like really, really high value removal. Whereas Borsalino is just like the best blocker in the game. Like, absolutely. It's just an uncontroversial statement. Just is. So yeah, that's pretty good. Monkey D. Guard. Very, very heavily slept on card, I think, in OP02. This provides you with incredibly valuable removal, and it's a 6k. So your opponent swinging into it, they're swinging into a 6k. It's sort of like you gaining 1k power to your leader, and you can protect it, or if they swing a huge amount into it, well, it's done quite a lot of work in taking all that Don away from your opponent, hasn't it? Very, very powerful, high value card. Okay, so then we come into like this suite of top end. So 1 7-drop Linlin. This is a very versatile card, and obviously being able to, like, earlier on in the game force your opponent to either give you life or trash life is really good. You're going to find often that you're taking a bunch of damage early, and the play for your opponent is always to let you heal. If they ever trash their own life, it is really, really disadvantageous for them to burn. So they've got to be in a position to just lethal you on the next turn for them to ever consider that. And if they do, and you survive, they're going to be in a really sticky situation. Remember, you're a deck that can heal. It's kind of difficult for that to happen. And obviously, if they're letting you heal, this is fantastic. You've established a 7-8 body. You've healed one. It's going to let you draw a card and nullify an attack, essentially. Really, really high value card. Charlotte Katakuri is insane. It's difficult to explain, like, in a concise way, just how insanely powerful this card can be. And I'm just going to say that basically the big reason is you can just take any of your chump dudes, the triggers that play themselves, stick them in the life, they're going to play themselves out again. They're not going to get swung into. You can force your opponent to go face, and you can then like be throwing 1k, 2ks on like small attacks, force them to go with the big one. Cool, I just got my thing back. Really, really nice. Katakuri, of course, amazing rule for your opponent's big dudes as well. Isho is just very high value. You are always going to be able to discard 2 from this guy, and it is insane the way that will swing a game sometimes. Like your opponent's key combo pieces they were saving, your opponent's key kill turn pieces gone in the blink of an eye. Incredibly valuable card. And 1 10 cost Kuzan because of course the card is busted. Really, really nice. But of course 4 copies of the best 10 drop in the deck, Charlotte Linlin. If you're able to land 2 of these in a go and resolve the entire effect, your opponent's on 2 life, right, and you're able to just go burn, it's pretty much impossible to lose from that position, especially considering you're able to heal on your leader effect. Insanely powerful. Alright, then we're playing 4 Impact Wave. That's pretty unsurprising. 1 Tempest Kick Sky Slicer. This is nice to just remove something, or you can, depending on the matchup, you can also just get rid of a stage. And 4 copies of Yasakani Sacred Jewel. You really want to be protecting your unit sometimes. And just being able to guarantee for one Don and just 2 cards, it's like, nope, 100%, this card is going to be fine, can be really, really valuable. Depending on, like, the unit you are protecting, right? Like, sometimes you really need to keep these big bodies on the board. Like, most of the time, you need to be saving your big bodies, and your opponent will put huge resources into dealing with them, especially in this metagame we see where sort of everyone is playing a big body, so they can just stack a load of Don up onto it. This is highly efficient. If your opponent, like, plays their own 10 cost and then, like, swings 16 or something into yours, very, very efficient in just 2 cards protected. So yeah, that is the deck list. I hope you guys found this useful. If you are interested in more in-depth discussions on various different deck lists, you should check those out. My Patreon, linked in the description below. You should let me know what you think about this deck list in the comment section down below. You should go try it out, get ready for OP03. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.